Are we online? Oh, so Mr. Chair, the meeting is open to the public and all members of the council?
Yes, thank you very much for extending that notice to everyone.
Yes, thank you.
I didn't know we were live, but I'd just like to call the meeting to order here and welcome a new member, Councillor McAleer. This is Thursday, November 14th. And call the meeting to order. And can I have the approval of the agenda, please? Moved by Councillor Tart, second by Councillor McAleer. Any declarations of conflict of interest? No? Seeing none, we'll go into adoption of the previous draft minutes, October 10th, 2024. Any questions, concerns? Nothing? Okay, any business arising from the minutes? No. We'll drop down to discussions and reports. And we'll ask Josh McGinnis, Utility Manager, to start off. Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a couple of reports here. The first one is a report on the Lower Malpeque Road lift station upgrades. This was a tender package we put out. We had received 2 bids. Currently, we're seeking council approval for the Lower Malpeque Road lift station upgrades tender. We're looking to award this to Island Coastal Services in the amount of $492,489.86 plus applicable taxes, and also approve $20,198.20 plus applicable taxes for engineering services during construction to CBCL. So we did have 2 bids submitted for this work. Island Coastal Services were the low compliant bidder, and we are seeking to award this to them.
Thank you, Josh. Any questions from the?
I do, Chair. It always interests me, and I like to ask the question when we have such a huge discrepancy between, multiple vendors. And I know you can likely justify the difference here. So the obvious question is are we getting all the same services? And with Ron's Plumbing and Heating coming in at almost double the amount, I suspect everything we've asked for is in the bid from Island Coastal.
Yes, through the chair to Councillor Mattar, that is correct. Both were bidding on the same package, same services. Island Coastal is very familiar with it. I'm sure Ron's Plumbing is as well, but they are kind of a newer player that we've seen for this tender. So Island Coastal may be more familiar, and they may be looking at less uncertainty. Typically, if there is uncertainty from a vendor, the prices will be higher. So they may be more comfortable, and that perhaps is why the bid is lower.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, Councillor McAleer?
Thank you for that. So when's the work expected to be done or started or?
It is expected to be started this year. I do believe it will stretch into the next fiscal by the time it's currently completed.
Thank you, Josh.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
do you want to ask a question first?
No, I was just
Mr.
reading
Chair-
there. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, just again, I'm trying to, with this engineering issue. So engineering services during construction CBCL, is that something we tender out separately? I've never seen this before, where it's been, maybe I missed it in the past, or maybe the former manager didn't tell us everything about it, but could you just help me on that, Josh?
Through the chair to the mayor, yes. Typically on larger projects like this, we do hire an engineering consultant to perform the inspections. And it is a budgeted amount, so it has to be put through for approval. That way it's kind of open and transparent where the money is going. CBCL did the preliminary design for us, so they will be moving forward with the inspection and services during construction.
So, Mr. Chair, I understand that we have to do the engineering, but I think in Public Works, they they do a engineering services bid or contract, they put it out, and that takes up any projects that could be road-related, infrastructure-related. We don't do that in water and wastewater. You just add the engineering services as part of the contract to do the work. You don't separate them.
So this will be, is not added to the, like if Island Coastal was awarded, it wouldn't be part of their PO.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Understand that. So it's a separate cost, right?
Yes.
So, again, this is the need, the purpose of a procurement bylaw is that, do we have to separate it so we give other engineering firms the opportunity to bid on, let's say, if it's not a lift station, it could be a new water tank out in Milton Vale, where you have to do the engineering service. Again, Josh, I'm voting for it. I just want to put those issues out there because this issue of, like it came up the other night, legal opinion was asked about Parks and Recreation issue. It's about transparency, and I appreciate that you're doing that here in this meeting. It's just going forward, I'd like to get a clearer definition of how we do the tendering for the infrastructure. We know there will be engineering services required. Should we be also tendering that, or do we do something like engineering services that the Public Works will do? They'll do an engineering services tender, and that will take in, projects that Public Works will be doing in the budget year. Is that clear?
Great idea, yeah.
Is that, I'm just, again, not fully supporting this. And my last question, Mr. Chair, I know I only got twice to speak. The other reason I want to ask is, Lower Malpeque, what lift station is it? Is it near the West Royalty Community Center, or is it, which one is it, Richard or Josh?
Yes, it is the one on Lower Malpeque Road, so.
Yeah, I know where Lower Malpeque Road is, but is it at the south end or at the north end? Like, it is further out.
It's the one further out, correct.
And I'm sure this is the first time we've done any work on this since its installation?
Correct.
I'll move it.
And it's not a heritage property, so, good.
What's that?
Moved by Mayor
What's that? I didn't get that.
Second by
Did
Councilor
what?
McAleer.
Hello?
No,
I was gonna say, okay,
to
that's
the
great, thank
Chair,
you. Yeah,
Just
you have a
on
question on
that,
this?
Councillor Drong, to the mayor's point about the engineering, but Mayor Brown, isn't what you're saying about the engineering part being potentially should be tendered possibly as well, but isn't the fact that this is under 25,000 outside a tender piece?
Yeah, that's correct. If it was over 25,000, I'm sure that we could have been discussing the same thing. It's just going forward, support the resolution the way it is now, so we can get the work going.
Okay, moved by Mayor Brown, second by Councilor McAleer. But that's a good point. I mean, you could put that out in the tender, right? So, that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. And now we'll go down to the next one here. Inventory requirements. Can you explain that, Josh, please?
Thank you, Chair. So our next report is our water and sewer utility inventory requirements. That's on our works side of the department. The purpose here is to inform council the results of the inventory requirements request for quotations and seek award. Our recommendation currently is that council approves the RFQ award of inventory requirements to Campbell's Concrete Limited in the amount of $121,000, $466.50, plus applicable taxes. The water and sewer utility had issued a request for quotations for inventory requirements and had received one bid. This sole bid was received from Campbell's Concrete in the amount of $121,000, $446.50, plus applicable taxes. The submission meets the specifications as outlined in the RFQ. The supplier has provided this service in the past and has had acceptable performance, and the utility is recommending award to Campbell's Concrete. So this is for materials and supplies that are used throughout the year for our maintenance operations.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Any questions on that? That's pretty,
Well, I did before your last statement, which was, what does inventory requirements mean? Is this actually inventory of infrastructure, as indicated, like concrete infrastructure?
So through the chair to Councilor Retired, that's correct. It would be appurtenances, so that could be our fittings or it could be valves that are necessary for maintenance.
any questions? No? Moved by Councilor Retired, second by Councilor McAleer. Okay. Now we'll drop down to the fiber optic project update. Josh, that'd be great.
Thank you. So this is an update on the fiber optic project. Purpose in this is basically to give an update on what was provided through our contractor at our previous meeting. That way everybody can be aware where we're at. On October 10th, the water and sewer utility had been provided a status update on damaged sections. This update was provided by UCC. This is the contractor installing the infrastructure. There were a number of sections that were being repaired. Currently, 4 damaged sections have been repaired. These sections include Grafton Street near Holland College, Marshfield near Fox Run Drive, a section on Water Street, and there was a section on 275 Brackley Point Road. So these have been repaired. Currently, there is one outstanding repair. This is at St. Martha's Court. UCC is seeking resolution with the contractor responsible for the damages. So once that has been remedied, we'll bring that back to the committee. And negotiations concerning the maintenance contract, or IRU, are currently ongoing. So we're still pushing that forward.
Thank you, Josh. Would anybody else have a question on that one? Well, I do have a question. I mean, we were visited last month by the contractor, and he seemed to have papers with him, and I think we asked to meet with you and the director there at the time. And to say the IRU, maintenance contract is ongoing, we've been doing this for a few months now, right? So we were hoping to get this done. Is there some outstanding issue that, we can't seem to get it all together? And I know it's, you can't speak openly when there's a contract involved, but it's just frustrating for, to be questioned as a chair, to be questioned, where are you at? Like, how come we're not getting to the bottom of this? That's the issue. I thought we were all on deck to, I assumed the contractor had the papers he was ready to show us, but, when you have the lawyer and yourselves involved, it takes time, but where are we going with this? Like, how much longer do you see, something that we can say, okay, it's closed now, it's moving forward?
Absolutely, Chair, you are correct, and it is a dynamic situation. I do believe we are very close. I don't believe there's any major outstanding component with the agreement. It's just a matter of sitting down and kind of drawing that line in the sand, and we can come together for that. But currently, it is ongoing, and we're waiting for that line in the sand where we draw and basically move forward, make an agreement, and present that back, yes.
Yeah, and I understand it's business and it takes time, but I want to stress that the committee has certainly given the administration a long time to get this done. and, you know, every month, you know, we say, it's getting close, it's getting close. It's the same as the work that was being done. We've done our due diligence, we've waited, we've done everything we could, and I can't stress enough that this has to get the two people to the table with the lawyers and get this done. You know, and I know it's hard, and I'm not sitting here saying, okay, get it done this week, but this has dragged on for so long, and we're almost at the end. We just need to push, and I can't stress enough to please try to get the contractor and yourselves together and get this completed. You know, I can't say anything more about it. You know, I'd really like to get this done and have a happy story moving forward, and the city residents that would, you know, gonna benefit from it. So I just can't stress enough, please. Anybody else have any questions that they'd like to see or say? I see your mic on, Councillor McAleer. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Drong. Just being new to the committee, I just curious to understand, like, the damaged reports that are indicated, the history, the four damaged sections like Grafton Street, Marshfield, Water Street. Like, were those kind of incidents where, I guess, what led to the damage, or what was that? What was that about? And just to understand what I mean, is this the sort of thing? I don't know where this is going to end up, but you know, is this the sort of thing that could be ongoing, or in terms of you know, future long-term consequences of wherever this project ends up?
Through the chair to Councillor McAleer, absolutely. It is the result of works within the area that the infrastructure was installed, just as water and sewer, or if it was any other utility. If there's work in the area, there is potential that it could be damaged, and that's what happened here. Was another contractor was in the area performing work, and an incident happened and the infrastructure was damaged. So there is potential into the future, just as with other utilities, that damages could happen. And they'll be remediated as necessary, just as any other utility would. We'll have it repaired, and then we'll seek through damages however necessary with the contractor responsible. So that's kind of what happened here, and just a detail of what that was. That's what was provided to us at the last meeting through the contractor. I was kind of hoping a little bit more from him, but that's what was provided, and I just wanted to present that to the committee and make that available. So,
Thank you, Josh. And it's stated here that those 4 repairs are completed. Now, the only outstanding repair is at St. Martha's Court, and it says the contractor is seeking resolution with the contractor responsible. So that's not on us. So could we still move forward with the IRU, all this stuff, and he's to work that out?
that's correct. So that's not holding up negotiations on the maintenance contract or IRU. For the piece that was damaged by the third-party contractor, that is between UCC and them to settle out. Anything that we have with them, we will settle out. But as far as the maintenance contract, it is not held up by that.
Okay, thank you. And I'd like to say, like, those the damaged sections, that doesn't put our costs up. That's all within their contract that he has with us. So people say, well, if it breaks, we have to pay. No, we don't pay for that, right?
Correct, you're correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, I'm just
Seeing
going
none?
back to our,
Go ahead, Mayor Brown. Go right ahead.
no, it's not a matter of luck, it's just a matter of patience. So I gave a notice of motion December 14th, 2023. And in the notice of motion, I asked that as-built runs be part of any contract talks or negotiations going forward. I've asked for the fiber in service, so we get this break in service at last month's meeting. There was a document that was left here. I wanted, in my notice of resolution, I've asked for verification photos of each vault and demarcation points. I didn't see that yet. The as-built drawings?
Not the drawings, but the photos.
Photos? All 100 volts? They're part of our package?
They were sent to us in an email.
Okay. And they're all spliced, ready to go, fired up? Are they all spliced, ready to go?
Through the chair to the mayor, the splicing has been underway, and I do believe is 100%
Okay.
done. But it is a dark network. Basically, it is not lit right now until that agreement is in place, and that's how it was
So again,
proposed.
this is the misinformation. We were just told all the photos of the boxes were given. So I've asked, are the 100 boxes all spliced? And now we're saying some are, and some aren't. And they're not going to be spliced until we sign the IRU. Is that correct?
No, the splices are complete, but
Oh.
they're not physically, we can't physically turn them on without the contract. So they can be spliced in the vault themselves, but they can't be quote unquote, turned on.
Okay, I'm going to ask once more. And Councillor Matard said, no, we got the photos, but in the photos, does it show that they're all spliced? Yes or no? So that's
Yeah.
what I want to know. I know what the volts look like. I want to know what's inside the vault that shows all the network spliced. Yea or nay?
Through the chair to the mayor, I believe the photos were taken prior to the splicing.
So can we get photos, now post photos, to show that everything has been spliced? Because I think we were told a couple of months ago, system's ready to, because I was going to bring in a switch for you to turn on the switch and get things going. So could we get photos to show everything that's spliced? All 100 boxes? Because that's the system. If they're not connected, there's going to be no fire, there's going to be no feed to show that it's operational. So I'd like to have that. As-built drawings, the engineering drawings, did Richard send those to us too? Or is that just the GIS? Like the GIS, as Councilor Bertrand knows, that GIS, if you have to connect to the GPS, there has to be some trackers to indicate where it is. And that could be, some of the issues of contractors digging into the ground, not knowing what's there because they checked and they didn't know it was there. So do we have as-built drawings stamped by an engineer like yourself and Mr. McEwen?
We do have the GIS layer with all the coordinates and locations. As for as-built
Built
drawings, I do not believe.
Okay, I asked that in my notice of motion almost a year ago. Right, Richard? I've asked for the photos, now we're saying, so if we can get the photos, like, I know the vault, I know where all the vaults are. I shouldn't say I know where they all are, but I know what the vault is. I can't get into it, but you have to get in to see if all 100 are spliced. So I want that, and if he's gonna hold, if we can't get a hot fire or anything to work this system until we sign the RU, I'd like to have a review of it, because I did ask, again, Mr. Chair, project financial report including evaluation of third-party investment. I've not seen that yet, so all you have to do, Richard would have this, I think, Josh, you'd have this too. Notice of motion, Thursday, December 14th, 2023. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Manager's writing that request down. Would that be something that would be obtainable by next meeting?
We'll bring a report forward.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. That's great. Thank you very much. Anything else? Any other questions on the fiber op? John? Nothing?
Mr. Chair, could I just ask, we've been on this committee now since 2019, right? we've been discussing this since 2019. Back in 2019, we discovered it was a 6-month contract, right? And you keep asking, I keep asking, like, I see this as critical infrastructure, not only for ourselves, but for residents, residential, commercial residents of Charlottetown. Like, I just like to see a resolution, but somewhere where we, both parties will feel comfortable after they sign an agreement. But I keep asking these questions and, you know, I get answers like, no, well, you got the photos of the vaults. Okay, but is everything spliced? Well, we think so. And again, Josh, I know you got other important tasks to take care of. I don't want to have this dominate your work time. That's up to the contractor to provide that. And for that matter, the GC, Williamsworth McLeod.
Thank you. Well, our CAO is here today. Maybe she can help with pushing this forward as well. Well, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. If everyone works together, we can get this stuff done.
Hands on deck.
By next month, it's gonna look good, isn't it, Josh?
Christmas.
Huh? Be present, yeah. It'd be great. Thank you. Any other questions? Introduction of new business? Seeing none? You have a question there, Councilman?
Yeah, just a general question, and I don't know if it's fair, but anyway, I'll take a stab at it. Like, as I guess the mayor said, this has had a life. It starts since, 2019. And I realize there's what do you call it? A closed session piece of some of these discussions as it's in progress. But I'm just would like to know generally, to the staff, Richard and Josh, are they, obviously, I guess, we probably went into this with the confidence that this project could get done with the, with the contractor. Is your faith and confidence still that way, about this? Because, like I said, it sounds like it's been hanging around for a while, and I just, is it the expectation that, to see it through? You still have the confidence in the project and the contractor?
Thank you for the question through the chair to Councilor McAleer. Yes, we do have full confidence that this will come to fruition. We will have a resolution, ideally, in the next month. I don't want to put a timeline on it, but we'll try to make that a Christmas gift. We do have full confidence that they will bring it together. It is a project which was a significant undertaking. It is a major infrastructure project, and we do have full confidence that it'll come together.
Thank you, Josh, for that. Yep.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Mayor Brown, seconded by Councilor Matart. Thank you very much, everyone.